Well, hello people. So yes, it's Peter here, and we're back down in the old man's shed. Oh God, where have I been? For crikey. Well guys, long story. I mean, it's been a good month I suppose since I put the last video up, since I last spoke to you, and that was obviously before Christmas and the New Year, and it's now the 16th of January. And I've been able to get down to the shed. I've got the old heater on, warm it up, because the outside is not too bad temperature wise. Yesterday was even better, but I've got the heater on, been down here for just a little while. We're up to 17 odd degrees in the shed, so it's all right. And I'm just going to show you something I've done, you know, what's happening with the layout, because it's been put, you know, for hibernation whilst it was cold. And my gosh, last week it was very, very cold. I wasn't going to come, you know, yeah. But what happened to me, guys, I disappeared because leading up to Christmas, both November, the wife went down with one of these viruses that was going around that they were warning you about. And then I caught it in December. So we was both crook. It's coughing and all the rest of it. It's still there. If I start chatting, I might end up having to have a little cough, but I'm well over it now. A little bit short breath sometimes, but yeah, from what it was, you know, it's scuppered all the sort of plans. Luckily, we was having a quiet Christmas, just the wife and I, and then my daughter came for Boxing Day, so you know, we was well enough to get through that. But certainly not coming down here to unfortunately make a film to sort of have, you know, to have wished you all a happy Christmas, and you know, if it's not too late, have a happy New Year. But yeah, so it is what it is. But it took quite a while to get over this flipping thing. As I say, we're virtually there now, and I wanted, you know, was loving, you know, hankering to have me sort of fix of coming down to the shed and have something running, because it was going on for weeks after weeks after weeks. But no, you know, now something, so that's where I've been anyway. That's what happens. But now thankfully, you know, I thought, yeah, I can start getting out and about again now. And all right, today's not too cold, let's get down to the man's shed. so here I am, but not for running clips, guys, because obviously, as I said, I haven't been doing anything. And I'm going to show you Torridon Road. It's completely devoid of any locos, all right, because that's what I've done. I'd sort of stored them, put them away, because I don't have them sitting on the layout whilst the temperature is so cold. You know, they're up on the shelves, they're in the boxes, and I'll just get them out now once it starts. Well, not yet, it's too early days yet, it's still January, but you know, when the weather starts improving, you know, I can start using them again. But I will get a couple running in a minute, because I want to show you something. Now, what happened as regards the shed, as I say, the first thing is that you'll see is the shed with no locos on it. The second thing I've got to show you, there's a cotton sheet against the windows, because the shed is where the windows are in the shed, it's north facing, so the sun doesn't come in that side. But if you know about ultraviolet light anyway, which it just happens to be coming in through a window no matter what, it can damage the colours on paint, you know, fades paints and things like that. So as I will show you that, you know, back in the day when, you know, I got this place set up to be my modelling room, I had some models hanging in the windows. And then lo and behold, when I went to move those locos, oh flipping it, you know, one side totally different to the other side. Where the light had got into it, and just light, not sunlight, it faded the paintwork on a excuse me, there we go, on a Spitfire. The camo changed. I had to do it all over again, because the daylight faded the colours. And in the past, what happened, I had a bush that was growing outside the shed on that side, and it got so big that it grew up in front of the windows. So I had a nice natural barrier to the daylight. You know, it was a nice lovely green bush, and so I could see out, but you know, it didn't seem to do any harm as regards daylight coming through. Well, that's what I thought anyway. But the storms that we had before Christmas, and not the one literally before Christmas, the one before that, The one that made me laugh, well, because poor old Alan, you know, we got strong wind and rain there in the south, but we don't get it. Well, we didn't get it as bad as you guys did up north. And you know, Alan at Dragon Junction, he had a power cut. He had to move away for a day or so until they got power back up. And most annoyingly to him, he lost his internet connection. Yeah, so, but it was in that storm, even down here in the south, it was bad enough. Whatever happened, the wind came whipping around the shed, and this poor old bush that was growing there, it got flattened, and it snapped the trunk of the bush, you know, where it come, you know, at the ground level. It may grow again, I don't know, because it's still there. It's a bush that's actually, I've got another one behind me that I didn't plant. It was obviously, you know, got seeded from the one that was outside the shed here. So, you know, it may grow again, but nevertheless, it's going to take a few years again to get as big as it was, and therefore naturally cover the windows. So in the meantime, the wife went online and bought some cotton, a sheet of cotton, which I've then cut up, and I've now got that covering my window now. So, you know, it was never used to sort of like look at. The good thing about it is, although you can't see through it, if I go down to the house and it's dark, I can see if I've left the shed lights on, because I've got a master switch for the shed in the kitchen that when I flick that, all the power to the shed is gone, you know, no matter what, it's all dead. So I'll often leave here turning everything off but just leaving the light on, and then when I go into the kitchen I look behind me and go, right, yeah, flick the main switch. And if I haven't flicked that main switch, the fact that I can see light through this material, I think it's oh god, I've forgotten to, you know, to turn the switch off. So done. Alright, so there we are, guys. So, you know, that's where I've been. You know, we caught this dreaded lurgy thing, you know, and it took 2 or 3, you know, as I say, you've still got a slight residue on my lungs. I'll get short breath or something, right, if I do something too physical. But, yeah, definitely out and about again now. So, yeah, thank heavens. And obviously looking forward now to what's coming in the new year. We've got some, you know, got some locos from Mercuruscal and Cavalex on order. There's a new rake of ballast, network rail ballast wagons, a re-release that Dapo have done that I've got on order that I'm waiting for. So as and when stuff comes, obviously I can start making videos again when, you know, when the weather's, you know, allows it. But today I think is the last day where it's not too bad, but then the temperatures are plummeting again from tomorrow onwards. So yeah, it might be another while before I make another video. But there we are, guys. So, you know, just to check in, say, you know, that's where I've been. Illness and then cold weather and one thing and another. But otherwise, you know, we're still here. Torridon Road is running well still, you know. So yeah, all right. So, but that's it. So until the next one then, guys. All right. So at least you know I'm all right. That's what's been. That's what's happened. That's where I've been. And I'll catch you in the next video when I make one. Alright, guys. Excuse me. Right, so I love and leave you. So, but all the best until the next time then, guys. Alright, bye-bye. Bye. Right, so here we are then, guys. Here's Torridon Road that you don't often see. Every loco has been removed for storage for the cold winter months. They've been taken off the circuit, off the track rather, and you know, been stored on the shelves or put back in boxes. But yeah, there's nothing in the engine sheds, nothing on the lines going up. There's some items of rolling stock. Yeah, we've got some there, but the engine shed there, the locos have been removed there. And yeah, in case you didn't know, where the nuclear flasks are, that rail there is the programming track. Okay, it's when I built Torridon Road, you know, there was that tiny little space at the very end doing the layout that I wanted, and you know, you need a programming track. So yes, I put the that's the programming track, which I've now obviously just turned into a feature now, so I can store, in that case, you know, wagon there and the nuclear flasks on there. But of course, because it is the programming track, there's no power or anything to it unless I wanted to, and then if I want to put a loco on there, I have to remove the wagons, because now it's all scenic up. It's not that easy to get to. So, and to be honest, I do a lot of programming on the main track anyway. So you know, with the Gauge Master controller, you can elect to say where do you want to program your loco, on the main track or on the programming track, and I elect to do it on the main track. But there you are, look, even the little private sidings there, that's the class 33, it normally sits there, that's gone. And now, because of all this, guys, because there's no locos on there at the moment, all you've got on there are some items of rolling stock, as I said, and they just happen to have the end of train lamps on them, and so they might be drawing power. And also buffer stops have got LEDs, so you know, all the buffer stops on the layout, they've got the little red LEDs on them as well. And because of that, let's go down to the old alpha meter and look at that. So on the top is what the transformer chucks out, over 17 volts, but the bottom is the amps. So at the moment there's 0.01 of an amp being used by the layout, and I can only put that down, the little one, I can only put that down to the fact that there's working lights coming, you know, getting their power from the track. Otherwise there's nothing. Yeah, the locos have been taken off, as I say, they get put up on the shelves or put in boxes, they're covered over. I'll get one or two out every now and then if I want to come down here in the winter months. If I get the shed warmed up, that's probably what you can hear is the fan working. And if it doesn't seem to be so bad a day like today, and yesterday was very good, then I might have something go round again. So, which I have done, and I know that the Torridon Road is still okay. It's got through, you know, we're into January now. Last week was bitterly cold, so I didn't come down to the shed at all. No, you know, didn't want to sort of get them going because it would take them too long with the fire anyway to get the place warmed up. I'd rather wait until the air itself is not too sad. I'll just zoom up here because there's the windows. I've got a cotton sheet in front of the windows because they're north facing, and when the poor old bush that was outside that gave me protection against light as such got blown over by the strong wind from the storm of the storm before, the one that Alan lost his power and his internet connection, which I think he was most bothered about, the fact that he lost his internet for a little while. But yeah, so when that bush went, I was just getting daylight, clear daylight coming in through those windows. And back in the day when I used to, come in here and have the shed as a modelling shed, when I did my models, I did what I did here, have them hanging up and everything. And I had some hanging down to the windows. And then when I went and moved them, I found out that the ultraviolet light had bleached the colours on one side of the aircraft because it was facing the window. So I didn't want to risk that with the when the bush got blown over and taken away and lost. I didn't want to risk ultraviolet coming streaming through the daylight coming streaming through these plain windows with no protection. So yeah, I just put a cotton sheet. The wife went online, bought me some material, and that's the result. So yes, yeah, plenty of place. I mean, this is nothing, guys. I've got more upstairs in the house. But yeah, so there you go. So what I might do is I'll put a loco on, and then we'll just see what it does to the alpha meter, because it does draw power even if it's not doing anything. And back in the day, or the one that you last saw Torridon Road, it had 15 locos on it. 13 of them all parked and stored, and in the engine shed and on the sidings there, and in the private siding at the end, and in the two in the engine house over there. So all in all, counted up 13 locos and 2 locos that were going around the circuits. And if you remember the alpha meter, because you would have seen it when I was showing something to do with about the motors, this was reading something in the 3s, I think, 0.3, whatever it could be. And that's just by having locos on your layout, not necessarily even moving. The fact that you put a DCC loco onto a track and then you energize that track, the chip in the loco is alive, so it's drawing power because it's waiting for a signal, you know, to say, yeah, go, or, you know, sound the bell or turn your lights on, whatever it is. They're all waiting there. So I had 13 locos just sitting there waiting for an instruction, even though I didn't send the instructions to them. They have still got to be alive. I have no isolated sections on Torridon Road. Everything is live because it's got the little, where can I show? Right, but there's a little clip there. You see the little, and the clips there, that the Hornby stainless steel clips. I've painted them so you can't see them very clearly, but they're there, so that's what energizes all the track. Even though I must admit I've got a feed to this one, I've got a feed to that one, I've got a feed to that one, but nevertheless all the points are live as well. But yeah, so there you go. Right, let's put a loco on. Right, okay, so I'll put this Accurascale Colas Rail Class 37 on, and I've not done anything to it yet. I've literally just put it onto the track, haven't started it up or turned lights on or anything. And what that's done to the alpha meter, just by having a loco sitting on it, is that, let's zoom in on it. So she's now saying 0.3. Alright, it was 0.01 before. So that's just by having a loco sitting on the tracks with no power going to it. I've not got it started or anything, but obviously it is drawing power because it's sitting there just waiting for me to call it up in the command station and send it signals. So I'm doing it now, calling it up. Now I'm going to put the lights on, and that doesn't do anything really. So I've got lights coming on now, and that's not done anything to increase the alpha meter. I'm going to put cab lights on and also the instrument lights on, so all those things should be on now. And the alpha meter is still saying 0.03. Going to start it up and see if that does anything. Now, interestingly, this is like of the second release of the Accurascale 37s, and supposedly it had the new speaker fitted rating at 8 ohms instead of the 4, and the ones that were fitted with the 4, I believe, cut out when they started up. Well, guess what? This one did the same. Even though it was supposed to be the second release and it was all sorted. No, this one used to, as it started up, just as it started up, it would cut out. But I've reduced the volume CV, and it now works perfectly now. So I'm just going to start it up. And it was at that point before that it used to cut out, but not now. Everything's working. And now, because the engine's running, or the sound for the loco's running, the alpha meter now is going up a little bit. Not much, but there we are. She's now saying 5. Okay. So this is all just on one loco. The CV for the sound was set at full power by default, which is CV63. Full power is set at 192. I brought it down. First of all, I tried 180 from 192. It still cut out. 170. It was sometimes worked, sometimes didn't. 160, which is what it's set at now, it works every time. And so it's only a matter of 30 points. And you'd be hard pressed to notice that the sound has been reduced. To be honest, guys, so I'm more than happy with it. But anyways, I'm going to give it a value of 10 or 12. And she'll go round. So the sound is running. You see, it's plenty loud enough. If I was to put it up to full volume, if it carried on working, you wouldn't really notice that much, to be honest. If it has been reduced. But as you can see, Torridon Road itself, this is the first time I got something running around it today, is running okay. Now let's go down to the alpha meter, what we're doing as we're running one loco, and it has gone up 0.145, okay? So that's one loco running, so that's all it draws, 0.1 of an amp. That's with all the sounds on and everything else. Lovely. Okay, so it's just you know, if you I know DCC, you know, it's just something you forget that, you know, when I had 15 locos on this layout, I'll just bring it round to a stop, all sitting there. Only 2 of them running around the loops, all the rest in their sidings. They're all taking power because the chip has got to be alive in the first place. So as soon as you put power to your track, if it's not on an isolated section, that loco is live. Just because it's not moving, just because it's got no sound or no lights on, doesn't mean to say it's just sitting there, you know, not doing anything. And which is why I think sometimes say like you have a short circuit going on, you know, you might have a train running, you get a derailment, you get a short circuit, and then later on you go to use a loco that's not been used a while, you find, oh, it's not, you know, what's happened? It's reverted back to its original address, maybe, you know, back to being number 03 on the address CV. Well, that could be why, because you get a spike in the track, your loco is alive, and that spike has upset the chip in the loco. So when we start again with Torridon Road, I might not be so quick to put all the locos back, to be honest. They do sort of say less is more sometimes, and you know, this is a little busy little layout. It's because I didn't have the room. This is what I wasn't intending it for, just for locos moving around. I certainly haven't got room to put a station, and I didn't want to put a railway station or anything on this layout because I wouldn't be happy with a passenger train coming through with only 2 or 3 coaches on it, because that's all it's got room for. So I thought, no, I'm not going to have it as a passenger train at all, but as a, you know, engine sheds and things like that. No, I thought that was okay. And with obviously engines just rolling through, pulling stock, that also is acceptable. Okay. Right, so here we are then, guys, just to finish off, showing you that everything's hunky-dory. I've got the two locos now running. I'll put the sound on in a minute. So I've got the Colas 37 running, and I've got my Cavalex Class 56 running. Just put in a little bit of freight. All running well. Now the alpha meter now, because the 2 locos are running, is 0.2. I'm going to put the sound on the 56. The sound on the 37, and that's just changed it up to now 0.3, because we've got all the whistles and bells on both locos running. But that's it. So that's it. That's what the layout draws with 2 locos running. Now, interesting, you know, I told you about the sound volume of the 37. I reduced it. Well, the Cavalex one, which didn't give a problem with the sound, it too was set to full volume, and it was too loud. If I put the 56 to full volume as it comes, you wouldn't hear the 37. It's that loud. So again, CV63 on the 56 was brought down to 160, which is the same as the 37. And you see, you can hear the 2 trains side by side. But there we are, guys, so everything's hunky-dory. But I'll sign off for now, and we'll remove the 2 locos again and put them away again, because it's due to get cold again down in the shed, so just don't want to leave them on the layout. But as you can see, the layout is running, no problems. The locos are running with no problems, so everything's good for the new year. Right, so that's it then, guys. I'll bid you a fond farewell until the next one, okay? So bye bye for now, guys, from Peter here down in the old man shed. Bye guys, bye bye.